I'm going to explain why you are losing money by bidding on branded search in your PPC campaign. My name's Carly from PPC Farm, and our agency has grown 8-figure brands with the power of PPC and over a decade of experience selling on Amazon ourselves. So once upon a time, there was a man named Souvenir Sam. He owned a little souvenir shop near the beach. Sam wanted to bring more customers in, so he printed a bunch of flyers, and in every flyer there was a 10% off coupon for his store. He recruited 3 local teenagers to hand out the flyers, and he offered them a $5 commission for every coupon that was redeemed. At first, not much really happened. The impact on sales was pretty minimal. Then one day, something changed. It was like every single customer that came into the store had a coupon to redeem. Something that one of the teenagers was doing was actually working to bring in more customers. So at the end of the day, Souvenir Sam tallied up all of the coupons, and he realized that basically just one teenager was responsible for all of those sales. So Souvenir Sam went to this teenager and said, "What is your secret? I'm going to be giving you a $500 bonus. This is amazing. Tell me your strategy." And the teenager popped out his chest, straightened his back, and proudly said, "Well, you see, sir, I started handing out the flyers down at the boardwalk by the beach, but nobody was taking them. So instead, I changed my tactic and I just stood right outside the store and handed the coupons and flyers to the customers as soon as they walked in the door." Pretty clever, right? So as you can imagine, Souvenir Sam was not very happy because, again, he was now paying this teenager a $5 commission for each of the people he brought into the store, but those people were already coming into the store anyways. And it's the same on Amazon when you bid on branded search. We don't do any branded search in our own PPC campaigns or for our clients. We don't believe that brand defense is really necessary for 99.9% of cases. Branded search is when you have terms that contain the brand name within your PPC campaigns. So, for example, if you are Nike, you might be bidding on Nike running shoes. That's an actual keyword in your PPC campaigns. Or another way that you can bid on branded search is if you are bidding on your own product. So in other words, you have your own ASIN as a product target in your PPC campaigns. Anytime someone is searching for your brand specifically, already knows that they want Nike. Yes, it's possible that they might switch to Adidas or something like that, but the majority of the time, overall, you're going to have more gross profit by not bidding on branded search. We're definitely not saying that you shouldn't bid on your competitors. We absolutely do that, but when it comes to your own brand, again, those are sales you're going to get anyway. So why donate more money to Amazon by putting your ad right next to the organic search result? It's just not necessary. So let's look at some more examples, and I'll share as well a free downloadable Excel spreadsheet where you can kind of run this math for yourself. But let's talk a little bit more about this in detail and look at some examples. So what it comes down to is you are going to get 90, 95, and 99% of the sales that come from branded search anyways, regardless if you are spending money in advertising on it or not. Most shoppers on Amazon don't know the difference between a paid sponsored search result or an organic search result, so they're just going to click on the first thing that they see. You can pay to have your ad appear higher up on the search results page, but what you're probably going to be doing is just cannibalizing your organic sales and paying for a click that you would have gotten anyway. So I realize you might not be completely convinced just yet. Let's look at the other side. What would have to be true to make bidding on branded search the correct action to take, that it would actually deliver you more gross profit? So here are 3 things that I think would have to be true to make branded search a good strategy for a brand.
So number 1, the customer can be easily swayed to buy a competitor's product.
So again, in a case like this, we want to make sure that you're getting your brand in front of that customer. However, it seems a little bit strange that a customer could be so easily swayed to buy another competitor's product if they're already specifically searching for your brand. Maybe they've purchased it in the past, a friend recommended it, they saw something on social media or off Amazon, they already know they specifically want your brand. So it would be very unlikely in this scenario that they would switch. If you feel like that does keep happening, you have some evidence that someone is switching to another competitor's product, it could actually be an argument for optimizing your listing rather than changing anything you're doing within the PPC strategy. Number 2,
if you're not actually ranked up on your branded search.
If you're Nike and for some reason when someone types in Nike, only Adidas shows up. This would be probably a very temporary state of affairs if you maybe just launched your product on Amazon and Amazon's algorithm hasn't quite connected the dots that you are this brand, that that you are relevant to this brand. Yes, it might make sense in this scenario to spend a little bit on branded search when you first launch a product, but it should only be a temporary thing. Basically, it's inevitable that you are going to be occupying all of the top search results on any branded search eventually. And number three,
the lifetime value of a marginal customer is incredibly high.
So essentially, we're okay with wasting a little bit of money now, or basically sacrificing some immediate short-term gross profit in order to acquire even one more customer. In other words, we know that this customer is going to buy so much more from us in the future. It's worth it to spend on advertising, on branded search in order to acquire that customer. In our experience, this is almost never true on Amazon. Brand loyalty is much less of a factor on Amazon compared to things like price, ratings, reviews, and things like that. This would be a pretty rare case. If you're still not convinced, if you still think you need to do some brand defense for your brand, I want to show you some math. Let's take a look at this math model to give you a hopefully really concrete example of just what might happen if you were to stop or keep spending on branded search. Here are the 4 things that you are going to be able to change in this model for your own specific situation. So the first thing is we're assuming here a 30% profit margin. Again, you can make a copy of this tool. There's a link in the comments and you can enter your own information for your specific product or products. Let's say you're spending $500 on ads and the sales that are generated from that $500 is $3,500, resulting in a 14% ACoS and a $550 profit. Now the profit, again, this is coming from the margin here. It's calculated by your retail price, Amazon FBA fees, Amazon commission, and anything other, buffer in there. But that's where that number is coming from. So now if we go take a look over here in the stop spending column, you can see what would happen if you were to not spend this $500 on ads. You would maybe get a little bit of a loss in sales, and you can toggle that here. So for an example, let's say 10% of those sales you don't get because you're not bidding on them in your PPC. Okay, fine. Even with that, you still earn an extra almost $400 in gross profit. Remember, money actually going to your bottom line, money in your bank account, by not bidding on branded search. Actually, in this particular scenario, you would need to lose almost 50% of your sales to competitors, let's say, before it starts to make sense to maybe bid on branded search. 50% loss in sales to competitors would be insane. Again, when people are typing your specific brand into the search bar, they already know they want your product. The likelihood of them switching would be very low. Take a look at this tool, make a copy for yourself, play around with the numbers for your specific situation, and let me know in the comments what you come up with. And I've actually linked the template for this in the comments so you can make a copy and play around with the numbers yourself. Even if after that you're still not convinced, what I recommend is just for 2-3 weeks, pause all of the branded search in your PPC campaigns. I can pretty much guarantee that what's going to happen is your PPC revenue might go down, but your overall revenue is going to stay the same. So basically what's happening is those sales you're getting in PPC are simply moving over into the organic sales column. So you're getting the same amount of sales, you're just getting more organic sales because, again, those are sales that you would have got anyway. And we see this all the time for our clients when we stop and turn off any branded search in their PPC campaigns. They end up getting more actual gross profit to their bottom line because those, again, are their organic sales they would have got anyway. I hope this was helpful. Follow me for more PPC tips. If you'd like to learn more about PPC Farm, we have a 60-day free trial for our managed PPC services that you can take advantage of. Just go to ppcfarm.com.